actually am putting it a little bit more on John Gruden. I think Carr is an average quarterback. He's fine, but, losing Antonio Brown sucks. And if John Gruden had based his entire offense around AB, he needs to, focus on the rookie running back that they brought in. He's got a tight end who's making some plays. He's got to adjust. You can't just throw Tyrell Williams out there in the Antonio Brown Z wide receiver and hope everything is going to click. But he's got to do something else. I think Derek Carr is fine, but the Raider Nation is kind of starting to turn on him. People still seem to like Chucky, though. I think it's just because of all of the Chucky dolls that are in the stands. But this is year 2 of a major and total rebuild. So I think the Raiders, and even on this podcast we talked about it, 7-9, 8-8 is kind of about the best the Raiders would be hoping for this year. And then next year when they go to Las Vegas is when we want to see some of these high draft picks start to turn it around and make some plays. And the overall mood is just, we are rebuilding. We're in the middle of it. We're starting to see some younger guys make some plays. I hope that they give Derek Carr another year and maybe bring in another weapon as a wide receiver to see what they can do. But overall, we're competitive, and that's all I can ask for. We beat up on the Broncos and the Colts, which, isn't the top of the league, but we should be able to compete with all those teams that are ranked between 13 and, 25. So the Raiders are what they are, but they're getting better. They're improving. It took until like November or December for them to win their second game last year. They're at 2-2 now, so the arrow's pointing in the right direction now.
By the way, Monty also claimed that he's on his lunch break from work, except the map shows us he's at the Town and Country Club. So,
yeah, he's a Town and Country Club sort of guy.
Good job, Monty. The Town and Country Club, and they also serve cocktails. I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Monty, are you still going to hang out, or are you good? Are you?
I'm going to get back. I've got Adele on pause. I'm going to fire up a couple more songs here, and then see if I can put on a face and walk back into the office.
All right, sounds good. Hit them straight.
Yeah, you guys have a good one, and let's just enjoy Khalil Mack as he destroys the Raiders this weekend and proves to John Gruden that you are an idiot for trading away a Hall of Fame player who is amazing. So, you guys have a good one. Talk to you later.
Yeah, cheers, Monty.
See you, Monty.
Cheers.
We spent more time with Monty because the next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the Cincinnati Bengals. You want to talk about a dreadful game. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Cardinals, 29th. The Bengals, one of the 3 teams that I mentioned earlier was, you think you're the worst team in the league? Hold my beer. Somehow the Bengals favored by 3 points in this game. I don't know how.
They're at home.
The only thing they have going for them, they're at home. The Cardinals would be considered a West Coast team traveling east, 1 p.m. kickoff. Bengals are -5 in takeaway giveaway. They are averaging just over 14 points per game. Neither team has won a game yet, but the Cardinals have tied a game. I will take Kyler Murray for my upset special this week. James is in agreement with me. And of course, Neil, you have to disagree and talk about the Cincinnati Bengals in some sense of fashion. I don't know how.
Well,
wait. Before Neil, before you start, I want you to name a Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver that's not A.J. Green or John Ross. Go.
Well, I think obviously with Cincinnati Bengals, James, you're looking at, there's Alex Erickson, I would say, is probably going to be starting. I've got Tyler Boyd. He was a reasonable player. Stanley Morgan, is he still there? I think you're looking at Damian Willis, AJ Green won't be back. And I was quite impressed on Monday night watching the game and seeing Auden Tate, who looks like, my God, that's a big guy, isn't he? He looks about 6'7", but he looks like a tight end, but he's certainly playing in the wide receiver position. Is that enough for you, or should I go on?
First of all, I don't know how you put in the phrase, I was watching Monday night and I was impressed. Like that didn't equate to me there, Neil.
No, not at all.
Well, I was impressed with Auden Tate. I thought he was a guy that, I think it's his second year, isn't it, Auden Tate? He was a big college player and looked like one of those guys who couldn't get separation at the next level. And I don't know what he did really in his rookie year. He didn't certainly show up in my timeline anywhere, but he certainly he looked the part, let's say, against obviously a far superior Steelers team in that game. But yeah, I think in the battle of rookie head coaches, I'll go with Cincinnati here, Jay. Home field advantage, give them a little bit of an edge over two really struggling teams for sure. I think that Arizona Cardinals defense is so bad that I think even against the offensive line for the Bengals, which is in tatters, let's face it, I still think they'll win the game. And James will confirm or not, but I think Christian Kirk is out of this game. And I wonder, we're talking about the Cincinnati wide receivers, apart from Larry Fitzgerald, what the Cardinals got?
Well, before I get to Arizona, A.J. Green, for all who's wondering when he's coming back, it won't be this week, and John Ross is on injured reserve. Also, tackle Cordy Glenn is questionable for Sunday. As far as Arizona goes, Christian Kirk didn't practice yesterday. He's nursing an ankle. Wide receiver Demary Byrd has nursing a hamstring, so he was a non-participant in practice as well. Other names showing up on the injury report for the Cardinals: safety Buda Baker has a thigh injury, was limited. Tremaine Brock, cornerback. Ezekiel Turner, linebacker. Justin Pugh, guard. And Zach Allen, defensive end. So
did we really let Monty go without Avonte's perfect?
Yeah,
comment?
I don't think we really need to go further in depth about that.
No.
I thought that was very harsh. He was suspended the rest of the season.
I also don't know why we're still talking about the Arizona Cardinals and Cincinnati Bengals.
So what's the next game?
It is the Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants. All right, maybe I do want to go back to the Cardinals and Bengals. The Vikings have fallen to 17th in our power rankings. The Giants actually did fall one spot to 26. The Vikings favored by 5 in this game on the road. Giants offense averaging over 400 yards per game, but their D is allowing almost as much at 389.3 yards per game. I think the Vikings can get it done despite the James anti-Cousins bias. And apparently James is also getting past his bias. He's taking the Vikings, as is Neil. We're all going Vikings.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with going against my anti-cousin bias. I just feel that this has to be the game that Minnesota's defense shows up. Neil, if you can take anything out of last week's game against the Giants, your defense at least made Jones look like a rookie quarterback, and I expect Minnesota's defense to do the same thing. For the Giants, we already know that Saquon Barkley is going to be out still, even though he is running in practice. Alec Ogletree, linebacker, is questionable with a hamstring. Guard Kevin Zeitlers, tackle Nate Solder, and linebacker Ryan Connolly also show up on the injury report. Connolly is actually on injured reserve. Yeah. Running back Wayne Gallman was limited in practice due to a neck injury. And for the Vikings, Garrett Bradbury, center, Marquise Alexander, cornerback, Josh Klein, guard, and Anthony Harris, safety, all show up on the injury report.
That was almost a compliment you gave the Redskins, and if we could see each other right now, James, you'd see I'd be giving you the hairy eyeball.
Well, look, Tampa Bay's defense in Jones's first start made him look like a savvy veteran. I mean, he wasn't under pressure. When he was under pressure, they gave him lanes to run because why would you call man-to-man on third downs against a rookie, like confuse him or throw something different at him? Everything they did to him was vanilla. Washington turned him over twice. They actually sacked him a couple of times as well. So my thing is, this is a rookie quarterback. You throw the kitchen sink at him and make him as uncomfortable as possible. Minnesota's defense has done anything but that to opposing quarterbacks this year. So if they can't step up and show at least some gusto or chutzpah against this young rookie, I don't know what they're doing for the rest of the season because their offense is not going to get the job done.
Chutzpah, does that come with a hairy eyeball? Does chutzpah come with a hairy eyeball?
It should.
I'm also afraid to ask what a hairy eyeball is. Because I
don't do it.
want to know.
No,
no. The hairy eyeball was just when you look at somebody with skepticism or like, I don't believe what you're saying. There's something behind what you're saying there. So,
all right, good. The New England Patriots are at the Washington Redskins. Shall we superfan battle this? No.
No.
Patriots finally regained their rightful spot at the top at number 1. The Redskins, unfortunately, have the Miami Dolphins below them. So, sorry, Neil, you can't claim the bottom spot. Patriots favored by 15. I don't know how this isn't bigger. The Patriots have joined the 2012 Chicago Bears as the only team since 2000 with 15-plus sacks. They currently have 18 and 10-plus interceptions through 4 games. The Patriots have allowed only 1 offensive touchdown all season. And the biggest question here is how many touchdowns do the Redskins score? Over under at 1. I will take the under. Neil.
Let me just say to the Miami Dolphins fans out there, we're coming for that number 1 pick.
Which quarterback is starting?
Well, we haven't decided yet, Jay. We're
of course not.
we're keeping that under wraps because we're going to unleash one of them at you, and you won't be ready for it. And who knows, you might only get 3 picks.
That is a shame. That is a real.
I've got a terrible. I've got a terrible feeling it's going to be Colt McCoy.
Well, I said they won't score any touchdowns, but I do think you're going to kick more field goals than we will kick. Steven Gostkowski put on IR, hip surgery underway. The Patriots went and signed Mike Nugent to the roster and what's it? I want to get it right. It's Young-Ho Koo to the practice squad. Neither of them are named Carly Lloyd, which is whom I want the Patriots to go sign right now. Get rid of this Mike Nugent character. We don't need him. We need Carly Lloyd at kicker.
But the only ray of hope.
I could.
Yeah, the only ray of hope I can see for Washington is that Bill Belichick is renowned for taking away the best thing the opposition does. And my hope is that he spent so much time looking for it and not being able to find it that actually would make confuse them and come away with a win.
Good one, Neil.
Or the best thing that you do is kicking, and he spent so much time preparing for the kicking that you actually sneak in there a touchdown or 2.
Yeah. This is a practice game for the Patriots. They'll find new and inventive ways to score 2 points because I doubt they kick the extra point more than once. On the injury report, Josh Norman has a knee injury. He was eliminated in practice. Jordan Reed is out. Neil, why don't they just put this guy on IR? I have no idea. Terry McLaurin has a hamstring. Vernon Davis is in concussion protocol. Case Keenum was spotted in a walking boot. And offensive lineman Brandon Sheriff and Chase Rollier are also on the injury report. For the Patriots, why does it even matter? Because all these guys want to play. Rex Burkhead was limited with a foot injury. Julian Edelman.
Hold on. Since you made that comment, Rex Burkhead, if he plays, I would be very surprised. He was also questionable going into last week, and if he saw the field, he may have seen 1 snap. He certainly didn't touch the ball.
Okay, Julian Edelman, I am more inclined to believe won't play. He has chest and rib injuries. He was limited in practice.
He actually played the entire game against the Bills.
Yes, he did with that same injury. So who knows? Josh Gordon has a knee injury. He was limited in practice. Patrick Chung is questionable. Hey, when is his court date?
Probably not until the end of the year. And the knee injury to Josh Gordon is concerning.
Okay. Dante Hightower is listed on the injury report as just questionable.
He missed the game last week. He may not play.
I don't see a quarterback listed here. Is he okay this time?
He might be. His calf injury may have healed itself.
And Nate Ebner, safety, shows up as well.
And who cares? He's special teams. So, I mean, that's going to be the biggest problem. I mean, Bill's been scheming for that kicking game, and he doesn't have one of his star special teamers. It's going to be tough.
I can tell you that Terry McLaurin will play. He's back in full practice. He was back in full practice yesterday, so he'll be fine to go. Otherwise, all the injuries you pointed out there, James, absolutely spot on. I think they're all kind of struggling. But certainly McLaurin will be back.
Who are your other
Again,
wide receivers? I wonder, because I don't think
Reed.
Gilmore will cover McLaurin.